Hello, welcome to the Famous for Nothing podcast. And we have spent like 30 minutes just playing around with this mic because
it's a very forbidden way to do this.
Yes, doing the headphones and a mic is just so entertaining sometimes. Mm-hmm. But we're back on the Gamecast episode. So it's been about 3-4 weeks.
Really? That long?
Yeah, because me and Jordan did the last one like 2 to 3 weeks ago. No, it's been about a month, I think. I don't know. But it's been a minute since we've done the Gamecast. So when we left off, I think one of the last things we did, at least that's memorable, it would be the murder of... Damn, I forgot his name.
Come on. You don't know the name.
I'm supposed to know this. I would know his name if I didn't push the record button. Zexion. No, not Zexion.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he hasn't came up yet. Oops. He's the member that...
he's a redheaded dude that take down a black-headed dude.
No, Axel is the redheaded dude.
Okay.
The blonde-headed dude is... Can't remember his name right now, but I remember I hate him.
He's dead, it don't matter.
Yeah. He's a scientist, and he was going against what Marluxia and Loxine wanted to do. So he had the order to take him out. So Axel followed that order and took him out by exploding his heart from the inside with fire.
In the most, like, brutal way.
Yes.
For a kid to see and witness.
And Sora was even like... shocked, and he's like, "Who are you people?" And then Axel says, I wonder about that too sometimes." And then he just disappears.
Like, apparates, yeah.
So I think we went a little bit after that, but that's just where we're gonna start off at.
That's okay.
So after that happens, Axel disappears and reappears back into the same room that Loxine and Marluxia is in. And when he gets there, Loxine greets him and says, "Nice work. Good riddance to that blabbermouth." Because, she's just a bitch. And...
didn't you like her?
No.
I thought you liked her because she was a bitch.
No, I really don't like Loxine, but she plays her part very well.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. A lot of people do like her, though. Like, I don't know. I really just can't stand Loxine. She's such a cunt. But she's supposed to be a cunt.
I remember you saying
that. But Axel says, Marluxia. Do you remember who that is? The guy with the pink hair?
Yes.
And stuff with the flowers and whatnot?
Yeah.
So that's him. And he says, you use his name was Vexen. The guy that died, the guy exploded from the inside.
Okay.
So his name's Vexen. And he says, you used Vexen to test Sora's strength, didn't you? And Marluxia says, not just Sora, it was yours too. And Loxine says, we weren't sure if you would actually do... we weren't sure if you actually had it in your bones to take out a fellow member. So it was obviously a test. And she said, well, I guess that you did. It's time to join up. Taking over the organization would be like child's play with all three of us. And...
they're trying to take over like the thing that they're working for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did they explain what they're over yet?
What do you mean over?
The
organization?
Yeah, like who they work for? Did they explain who they work for yet?
I don't think you know that yet.
Okay.
But it is an organization.
Yeah, they just have like special like powers and shit, and like they deal with time and stuff, kinda.
Not time. As of right now.
No, they deal with memories. That's right.
Yes and no.
Yeah, because like the longer you're there, the more you lose your memory.
Yes, they're in Castle Oblivion, and the more you go into the castle, the more memories you lose.
I remember that.
Or whatnot. So.
That's why it's called Chain of Memories.
Maybe.
Marketing.
You figure it out. But yeah, Loxine says he wants to see Nominee, so why don't we just give him what he wants? And Marluxia looks at Nominee because she's sitting in the chair holding a notebook, and he says, "Rejoice, Nominee."
Oh yeah, she's the one scribbling, right? She's drawing.
Yeah.
Do we know what she's drawing?
You're about to see.
Okay.
So he says, Marluxia looks at Nominee and says, "The time is near for you to meet the hero that you've been longing for." And Nominee looks really sad, but as he says that to her, her head's still down. She says, "I'm glad." And then, she's like, "Oh, I'm glad." But then Loxine comes up to her and gets in her face.
What the fucking cunt she is.
And she says, "But I'm warning you, you better not do anything to betray Sora's feelings. Do you understand me, little one?" And she's like, wagging her finger into her face. And Naminé says, I understand. And she puts her head down
Whatever,
even more.
bitch.
And she says, all you need to do is lay over Sora's memories and bring his heart closer to you. And then, hold on. He says, wait, sorry. Yeah, okay, I think Maloshu is actually the one that said that. But when he says that, he just teleports out of the room. So after he teleports out of the room, Laksheen is right behind him and teleports out too. And then Axel's just sitting there with Naminé. And you see Naminé holding her sketchbook, but you can actually see what it is now. And it's a picture of Sora that she's drawn. And
oh, yeah.
so she just drew Sora, and it's just him smiling. And she grabs the notebook tight and holds it close to her. And she says, even if you come from me, what then? And then she just puts her head down even more, and it cuts to the next scene.
Okay, so they retconned her for this game.
How so?
Were we ever introduced to her?
Well, Sora even said, like in the game, that they were friends with her on the beach and everything, and her, Riku, and her and Riku would always Sora and Riku would always be together.
So you're telling me from everything from the first game, we've known nothing about her until now. So they kind of retconned her for this game.
I don't know, man.
Did we actually mention her from the first game? I just don't remember.
You did not hear that name, Naminé, until we started this game.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
But like Sora said, he has memories of,
So he'll lose memories, but he'll also gain memories?
Yeah, he'll gain the memories that he had back with Naminé when they were little.
Okay.
And stuff. And the stuff like he made her a promise that he'd keep her safe. And
always
like
remember
that.
And stuff. And he's fucking breaking it.
So, yes.
Shit.
So the next scene cuts to Riku. And it's Riku because obviously you see him. And then it's also Sora really pissed off. He says, Riku! And then Riku's like, you're hurt Naminé if you go any farther. And he's in front of the stairs that goes up towards more to the tower. And so he's blocking the way, and Sora says, you still want to fight, but Vexen's gone, so now you're free. And Riku says, it doesn't matter what happens to him. I'm protecting Naminé from you. That's what's in my heart. And he said, Sora, I made a promise to Naminé. I promised her to keep her safe.
Riku's just a big-ass simp. That's all he is. He's just chasing tail.
And Sora looks confused, or not confused, but worried. But kind of both, I guess. He says, you did? And so, Riku says, there was a meteor shower this one night when she and I were little. Naminé got scared, and she said, what if a shooting star hits the islands? And he said, so I told her, if a shooting star comes this way, I'll protect you. So that was the promise. And he said he made that promise with a toy sword, and he has his actual sword up in air as he says that.
It's a big fucking promise, man. Those things are hot.
Have you ever played a Final Fantasy game, man?
Right.
They just be throwing stars everywhere. And Sora says, wait, how do you know about that? He says, because, wait.
So this is actual Riku, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is Riku. Yeah. Like you can see Riku right there. And then,
with the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah. Riku didn't say that. He had his sword up in air, and then Sora said, you made that promise with a toy sword. And Riku's like, what? How'd you know that? And Sora says, because I made that promise. I was there that night. And he said, I promised to protect her. I promised to protect her. I said that. And Riku says, don't lie. You weren't even there that night. And Sora says, you were the one that wasn't even there. That was me. She gave her good luck charm to. It was me. And he says, her what? And then, Riku says, her what? And then he pulls out the good luck charm that Naminé gave her, like a little golden star.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So it's like a little golden star.
And don't Riku have it, or he'd say that he had it?
Yeah, and then Riku's like, tell me where did you get that? And then a flash happens in his head, and he says, Sora, good try. And he pulls out his own. Yeah. So I think we might have gotten to this part before we ended.
Right there.
So He says, that must be fake. I'm the real one right here. And Sora's like, what? There's 2 of them. And he says, the fakes should be destroyed. And then that's when you fight Riku. And then after that, you beat Riku, of course.
So you fight with like the card mechanic again?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like a card battle system. And I think at this point, you don't have Donald and Goofy with you. If you do, then you're about to lose them. Spoiler for a second.
It's all right.
But yeah. Either way, like if they're in the card battle system, like Donald Goofy can help you out as cards, and if they're not there, then their cards are no longer there to help you with, basically.
Oh, okay.
So after Riku loses, he runs away, and he says, "Isn't that Naminé's good luck charm?" He says, "It looks just like mine." Okay, yeah, this is whenever it happens. But anyway, Sora says, "How did he get this?" And he holds up Riku's good luck charm that he got from Naminé, and it turns into like a flash of light. And it blinds him, and he turns his head. And when he turns his head, it turns into a card of Destiny Islands.
Oh, that's right.
So Goofy's like, "Oh, it turned into a card," and he's like, "Oh, I don't understand what's going on." And Sora says, "Let's just keep moving, okay? It doesn't matter." And they said, "It does matter. How can 2 of you have the same memory?" And Goofy says, "That can't be right." Sora says, "I'm wrong. Fine, then don't believe me." And Goofy said that's not what we meant. We're just kind of worried. And Sora said, "Let me ask Aunt Naminé. That should clear things up. Look, we don't have time to sit around, so let's just go." "Sora, what happened to you? What does that mean?" "Well, you always become like real touching when it comes to Naminé. When it comes to stuff talking about Naminé. But before we came to this castle, you didn't even remember what her name was, which is what you brought up." So now Naminé is the only thing that you talk about. It doesn't make no sense. Maybe you should just slow down and think about things a little bit. And so I said, "Think ahead? What is the matter with you guys? Do you want me to abandon her?" And Donald's like, "That's not it." "Then go do whatever you want. You can lay back and take a nap for all I care. I'm going to go find Naminé," and he runs up the stairs. So he takes off. Sorry, am I blowing out this?
Oh, no, it just makes my ears hot.
I don't know if this is too loud talking like this or not.
No, it's fine. It just makes my ears hot, so I just have to get them off every once and again. You're good.
You take them off on every one.
I know it. I'm always like, I can handle it.
I didn't know if you're just taking them off normally or if
my ears get too hot, and I'm like, all right, now. Okay.
Also, guys, if I am being too loud right now, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold the mic just besides using the tripod.
Fix it in post. Fix it in post. It's fine.
Whatever. Anyways. Axel is with Naminé now. He goes back to them. And Naminé just sitting in her little chair that she usually ends. And Axel says to her, You're all that he has left. So then, if you don't stop this, no one will." And Naminé says, "But if it's too late, you should," or Axel says, "You shouldn't just give up just yet." And then he walks away and turns his back to Naminé, and he says, "Say, Naminé, haven't you noticed Baluxia doesn't seem to be around?" And Naminé says, "What are you saying?" "Just that there's no one here that could get in, there's no one here who would get in your way, or who would want to get in your way, basically." So she, gets up, and then she runs out, and runs out of the room, and he just lets it go. While he
just lets her go. It's like that. Nah, there's something.
Axel says, "Just make it count," to himself. Like he's talking to himself. He's like, "Just make it count." And then the door shuts behind her, and Axel smiles. He says, "Now this should be interesting. Try to make it enjoyable, Sora. It's the least you can do for me, you know." And then he has his heart. He holds on to his heart, and he's like, "Hey, wait, I'm enjoying this." He goes, "You guys are something else." And he's thinking, because... I don't know if you know that yet. But anyway.
Here, how about you say it and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point, Jiminy pops out of his shoulder, of Sora's shoulder, or pocket, onto his shoulder. And he says, "Sora, that's not no way to..." Talking about the way he talked to Donald Goofy. He goes, "Sora, that's not no way to." And Sora says, "Keep it to yourself."
Oh, shit.
Before you can even
say... This is a different Sora.
Yeah. So he goes into Destiny Islands, and when he goes into Destiny Islands, it goes back to how it was before that first time that you saw Destiny Islands, how it's all destroyed, and it's just a big rock and whatnot. And he goes to the island, and he's looking around, and then a big old dark side pops up. And he says, okay, I have to keep her safe. And then he starts looking around. He's like, Nominee, can you hear me? And then Nominee is behind him. So he goes, looks at her, and he says, Nominee! He says, Sora, you really came for me. And this is like the first time they met. So he goes to her, and he goes, no, it's you. It's really you. And he's like, he has her hand, and he's like real excited. Mm-hmm. And she's smiling too. And he says that I've been through so much to see you. Yes. And she says, yes, I just wanted to see you too. But this isn't right. I messed up. I wanted to see you, but this isn't the right way. I was so lonely for so long, I just couldn't bear it anymore. So I called out to your heart and had you come all the way out to this place. You came for me, and I'm so happy, but... I'm so happy, but to your heart, I just had to... And he says, don't worry. I'm just here because I promised that I would protect you. There's like pauses.
No. Hold on. No, she did something.
Yeah. So
no bullshit. No, she did something.
So there are these pauses when they talk.
Yeah.
It's like you came for me, and I'm just so
like
so
she's
happy.
Hesitating.
Yeah.
Or...
So I'm trying to do that too, but without yeah. Anyway.
No, she did something.
Yeah, and Sora says, "Don't worry, I'm here because I promised that I'd protect you." And she does a huge smile, and she looks up at his eyes, and she says, Sora, thank you. And I'm sorry. And she walks away. She goes, I'm not supposed to be in this picture.
What the fuck?
And then another form of Nominee is behind him.
Oh, fuck this. No.
And she says, that's true. But one form is like solid, another form looks kind of faded and transparent. So...
no.
So
it's like Sora in a way, just with long blonde hair.
And the one that's transparent says, "That's not me. I'm not there. I don't really exist inside your heart. I don't exist in anyone's heart."
Damn.
She says, "I never existed anywhere." And Sora says, "What? What are you saying? What's gotten into you?" He says, weren't we inseparable, always together? But then you had to go away. I came all the way here, so I would never lose you again. And she says, was that really was it me that you really wanted to see? And he says, of course it was. I know I've forgotten a lot of things in this castle, but I would never forget anything about you. And he pulls out his good luck charm that he gave her. And he says that you gave this to me, didn't you? And when she sees it, she like smiles again, and her head goes sideways. She says, "You have it, my good luck charm." And then the one that's transparent goes, "No, Sora, you can't believe me."
The fuck? Thank you for believing me. It's not real. It's not. You physically just told me it was.
So the one that's solid turns the back to Sora, and the one that's transparent is like looking at Sora, and Sora's just looking back and forth, and he goes, and he puts his hands down, and he goes, what am I supposed to do? And Nominee says, think, Sora.
What do I do? Think.
Yeah, think. Think just one more time about what's most special to you. Call out for that piece of memory that glimmers faintly and deep inside your heart. No matter how far away that light gets, your heart's voice will always reach it. And Sora says, who's most special to me? That's an easy one. He looks at the good luck charm that Nama gave her. And he says, it's you, Nama. And then as he done that, the good luck charm starts to like glow with light. And it turns into that. So
the drawing?
No. Do you remember what that is? It's a good luck charm. Here you go.
Let me get a closer look. I'm gonna turn this off.
Oh, you're good. It is a good luck charm, but it's not the one that Nominee gave him.
Oh, is it? Hold on.
It's the one that Kyrie gave him in the first game. So
sorry, I had to turn this off or else
you're
it would have banged everywhere. But
so,
yeah, that's the one Kyrie gave him.
So
Kyrie, is that right?
The
Kyrie?
one, yeah, Kyrie.
Okay.
So Naminé, the one that's solid, whatnot, fades, and you see like a transparent Kyrie.
Ah.
And then, but it goes back to like Sora. So Sora never actually saw the transparent Kyrie, but it's kind of like a sign saying
so
like, it's like saying like, hey, she's still here in his heart.
So he could never hear or see the transparent one. He can only see the solid one, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think so.
That's what's implied?
I think so. Well, at least the transparent Kyrie. Like, he didn't see her yet.
Okay. And my question is, did he hear her?
No,
Shit.
or Kyrie never said anything. So.
Oh, okay.
It was just kind of like a sign saying that, like, hey, this is still in his heart. Like, because he's forgetting everything.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, if I look bored, I'm not. I'm trying to picture everything he's saying in my head. So if I look like stupid, it's just because I'm like, okay.
And then go back into that solid white room, and Sora screams out, Naminé, as he's like running to her. And then he gets to her and he says, it isn't you, the person most special to me. It wasn't you, or it's not you, right? And he holds his heart. And Naminé says, the girl that you really care about, the one that's always with you, it's not me, it's her. And she like turns around, like disappointed, looking at him. And Sora says, but then who is she? Because I can't think of her name. If she's so special to me, why can't I remember? And Naminé says, because I went into your memories, and then it gets cut off.
Oh,
and
motherfucker.
Larxene pops in and says, let me explain this. And, sorry, wrong part.
You got
It was Riku. Riku comes in, let me explain this.
No.
Sorry.
Was it really Riku?
Yeah, it was Riku. I thought it was gonna be Larxene. But anyway, he says, plain and simple, your memory is a train wreck. You're not the one who's supposed to protect Naminé. It's supposed to be me. But you're all messed up. But you and your messed up memories are always in the way, Sora. And so then you guys fight. And then
again?
Yeah, and you beat him again.
He can't say no for an answer or an ass whipping.
Right? And he says, you want some more?
On the ground, bleeding to death.
Yeah.
You want another one?
Yeah, so actually, I think he like kicks Sora. And whenever he kicks Sora gets like on the ground. And then Riku's over Sora at this point. And he says, Riku? Or Sora says, Riku? And then Riku says, looks like I'll win. And Naminé, he's about to strike down Sora. Riku's about to strike down Sora. And Naminé screams, Riku, stop. And he says, you are though. Or something. Riku's saying like, you are though, like you're finished, whatever. And then Naminé screams one more time as loud as she can, like directly to Riku. She says, I said stop. And then when that happens, his head, like, I don't know, it's like a flashing light, and he just like goes zombie wise, kind of, and he just drops.
Like catatonic, kind of?
Huh?
Like catatonic? Or?
Like he just drops. He's just on the ground. You're good. He just drops, and he's just motionless now. Like he's just empty, basically. And Sora says, Riku, what did you? Sora's like, what did you do? What did you do to him? And now Larxene pops in. And she's like, broke his heart. God. She's like, broke his heart. I like to say more like smashed it, really. Smashed his heart. And then what's gonna happen to Riku? And Larxene's like, oh, you're so much fun to watch. Even if it's Riku you're worried about, then, or if it's Riku you're worried about, then don't. Because Riku was never really here. And he says, what do you mean? Do you really think I'm just going to say it? That's too easy. What to do?
What a bitch.
And Sora's like, quit your games.
Right.
And then he runs at her, and then Sora gets knocked down again. And then Larxene's like, all right, have it your way then. I know it's gonna kill you to hear this, but I think you can live with that. And you're looking at Riku, and Riku is just straight up like dead at this point.
He's just laying down in front of him.
Yeah, this whole cutscene happens, and I remember the first time playing this game, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this cutscene, and the whole time Riku's just dead on the ground, like, like it's crazy. Anyway, Larxine's back talking, and she's like, that thing lying there is just a puppet that Vexen made as an experiment. No more than a toy. It's laughable, really.
So it's not the real him.
Yep.
Ah, okay. You smile. I'm worried.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
No.
Am I stupid?
No, it is. It's actually a fake. I would not.
I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 2. The whole plot is gonna be around this fucking puppet, and it's just like, okay, do you remember this? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, well, because he did this, now the third multiverse is gonna do this.
Okay, so you're talking about, I think, about 4 or 5 more games from now, but
Shit.
So
Shit.
look, I'm gonna be legit, okay? Just about anything that happens in Kingdom Hearts, there's a whole fucking side story because of this happened or whatever.
God.
Like if you have a question about something, it would be answered, but there's a big answer for it, and you're like, oh,
Like a whole podcast episode worth of answers,
Yeah.
or like.
Anyway, so Larxene says it can be called a fake, but it was really a fabrication all along.
COVID.
And Sora's like, not Riku, a fake. And Larxene's like, fake in every possible way. It was only finished recently. How could it remember anything? And she picks him up by his neck, like dangling him and whatnot. Sorry, you can't really see it, but like dangling him by his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you get it? It's memories with Nominee. Or you get it? It's memories with Nominee were just planted, not real. And then she throws him, and he bounces off the ground, and then lands on the side of the wall. And I'm like I said, this whole scene is just like him dead, basically. And then you can walk around the room, and Riku's still dead. You can like walk around his body and stuff. And she's like, that was just a counterfeit, trumped up, and completely bogus. And then Nominee's looking all sad, and she walks to him, and she goes, "Isn't that the truth, Nominee?" And she grabs Nominee by the cheeks, and she's like, "Oh, so cute, but behind this little cute face, you do awful things." And Sora's like, "Nominee," and Larxine's like, "You're so stupid. Don't you get it now? That's what Nominee's powers are about. She can enter, rearrange, and even create new memories of anything, even things that's never happened." So.
Oh, so you were waiting for this moment, weren't you, fucker? I felt like I was on top of the world. Like, they retcon this bitch. I'm just like, okay, wait. So she has the power to rewrite memories?
Yes.
Holy shit.
So she says, the girl that you've been trying to protect all this time is just really manipulative witch who shackles people's hearts.
So does it explain how can she manipulate their memories?
To be continued.
I'm about to say, can you confirm if they can explain that or not?
No, not right now.
Okay, you gotta be.
Yeah, I know. It should be good. The reason you get an explanation of why she can do this.
Okay,
but I can't answer that question yet.
That's fine.
So then, but you won't get that explanation in this game.
Shit.
Just letting you know. But,
come on.
Sora says, "Oops," and Sora says, "Then my memories are all." And Larxene goes, "Oh, you do get it. Lies, lies, lies. Just Nominee's illusions, nothing more. Binding you in the chains of your own memory, and your was a central trap."
Oh, she said it.
Yeah,
guys, she said it.
Not yet.
Game over. Credits.
Binding you in the chains of own memory, not exactly
close
yet.
enough. Damn it.
Not yet.
That's close.
Oh
we're
shit!
getting.
I lost it. Where was we at?
Oh
yeah, there we go.
She said the game.
Yeah. Oh, I zoomed out on accident. But never happened, and then manipulative lies.
So professional.
Central to our trap, and then okay, she goes, "It makes me tingle to think that it's how easily you were duped."
Yeah, that's not pedophilic at all.
And so close to it, we were almost there. This was kind of only chance to turn you into the Keyblade's master, or to turn the Keyblade's master into a puppet. But then that jerk Axel, he used Nominee to betray us. So now I'm left with no choice but to eliminate you. And then Nominee gets in front, and she like holds her hands up. And gets in front of Sora, trying to protect him. And Nominee just looks at her like kind of like The Rock does, that little eye thing. That's literally what she does. She goes, "Huh?"
Please tell me you have a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Okay, there you go. So she's literally doing the odd thing that
The fucking
does.
smolder.
And then she goes, "Huh? It's a little late for the witch to grow a little conscience." And she says, last time I checked, you're the one who fooled around with his memories and creating this mess. And Nominee says, I know, but Larxene, I should tell you that I'm in an extremely foul mood. Thanks to you, all of our plans are ruined. And then she fucks up Nominee and just throws her to the side of the beaker.
Shit.
Like, she's like
backhands her or just throws her ass?
I can't remember exactly. I think she backhands her.
Oh, shit.
And she goes, what's this? Are you upset? You don't even actually know her. Like, talking to Sora.
Yeah.
And Sora says, maybe not, but still, I made a promise. And he stands up with his fist. He says, I promised, I made a promise I made to Nominee to keep her safe. And maybe my memories are fake, but the promise is still real to me. That's why I'll keep it. And he's still, like, struggling to get up.
Yeah, because he just got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah. And Larxene goes, you're such an idiot. There is no promise, and there never was. You're just delusional. And she says, may you insist on playing the hero? Whatever. If that's the way you want, then you're going down alone. And she like throws like one of her knives at him.
Oh yeah.
And then a shield like blocks it away. And then Donald Goofy pops up.
Oh.
And then Donald does a healing spell on Sora, and he stands back up. And then it's Donald and Goofy, and they're like pissed off looking at Larxene like, yeah.
Yeah, just fuck Nominee, just run right past her corpse and just heal the motherfucker.
That's a good point. But
fuck the dead girl, heal him.
And Sora's like, Donald, Goofy, you found me. And Goofy goes, of course we did. We were worried about you, Donald, and we promised that we would protect you. You would never, you wouldn't. God, I can't even talk.
You got this.
Yeah, I know, right? You won't ever be alone. It's always been the three of us. We always stick together, and that's how it's always going to stay. And then Larxene's, all right, okay, have it your way. More pain means more fun for me. And then I think that's whenever you fight.
Larxene?
And so, yeah. So you fight Larxene, and she has, like, lightning powers, and she also, like, can clone herself. So...
I like how she's just making powers at this point.
So, like, yeah, her power is lightning, and then when you fight her, there's, like, different clones. So she uses, like, little throwing knives, like kunais. That's pretty much what she fought with, was a bunch of kunais. And so she makes those different copies, and then they'll all throw kunais at you at once and stuff. It's a pretty cool boss fight. But once you beat her, because, you know, you're going to beat her, and then she's, like, starting to stumble, and she's like, no, I refuse to lose to a bunch of losers. And and she looks at herself, and like parts of her like kind of like falling off and fading away. She goes, no, I think I'm fading. No, this isn't the way. I won't allow. And then she fades away.
Oh, like so, Thanos fades away, or like?
Yeah, kind of, basically.
Okay.
And then Nominee's back up, and she's just on her knees, like looking down, all sad. And Goofy says, you must be Nominee. It's good to meet you. We're friends with Sora, and my name is... And she says, you're Goofy, and you're Donald. And Donald's like, yeah, how'd you know that? And Goofy goes, congratulations, Sora. You finally found your friend. I'm so happy for you. And then Sora's just looking so sad and depressed. He just has his face down. Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it. The one woman you thought you had to protect just ended up lying to your ass. I'd be depressed too.
And Jiminy's on his shoulder. I think he's the one that says this, but he's like, gee, there sure are a lot of questions. And
I'm glad he decided to chime in now.
And one of them says, Nominee, I know you probably... Nominee, I know this part won't be easy for you, but could you tell me what happened? And she says, of course, it's my fault after all. And then I think this is in the process of them telling him whatever. She says, I took the people and memories that were inside Sora's heart, and little by little I replaced them with false memories. And Donald says, hey, what about Sora's promise? And Naminé says, made up. It was fake. Sora never really promised me anything. Me being with him on the islands, that was all just a lie, just like everything else. And so, Sora's still looking pretty sad. And she's like, we never met. I was never Sora's friend, and you were never anything to me or more or whatever. And Sora says, no, you see, after all the, he says, no, you see, and all your true memories, I was never really there. I think that's her actually talking still, sorry. And let's see, so I don't know which ones are talking, I'm really bad at this, but he says, G, then that must mean, I think that's Jiminy Cricket. He's the one that says G.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was your magic that made the rest of us lose our memories too. Is there any way for us to get them back? She says, I can fix everything if we go to the 13th floor. But Maluxia, he, and then Jiminy says, but I know who that is. And and he says, was he the fellow that made you tamper with all of our memories? And she says, if I didn't obey, he said that I would be locked in this castle forever. And I've been alone for so long. And she says, I've been alone for so long. And Goofy says, so you did what he told you because you were lonely? And she says, I'm so sorry. So basically, she's been in this castle for a very long time.
I just imagine Goofy judging the shit out of her. Like, you just did this because you were lonely?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was more of a question, but yeah, I guess
it just sounds like he was fucking judging the shit out of her.
And she's starting to look really sad at this point. Like, she knows everything she's done is wrong. And she didn't really want to do it in the first place, but she gets her head down and she's starting to get emotional. And Sora says, please, don't cry. And she goes, oh, of course, I know you, of course, I know I really don't have the right to. That's not what I meant. Oh, yeah, he's like, don't cry. And she's like, oh, well, I know, I don't really have the right to. And so it's like, that's not what I meant. It's like this. I'm not really happy about you messing with my memories, but I know I can't really be mad at you for it either. These memories you gave me, in my head, I know they're all lies, but they feel right. Like the promise I made. I said that I would protect you and that I wouldn't make you cry. Not ever. Naminé, if you cry now, I'd feel guilty. Like I let you down. And he turns around and he gives a big smile and holding his head and he goes, so please, don't cry. Until I get my memories back, smile and try to be happy. It's easier on me that way. And Naminé just like, Sora? And Donna goes, oh, brother, that's a bit much.
It's a bit pretentious, buddy.
And Goofy's like, it's okay. One of them says, it's okay, Sora. Sora always gets like this every time he talks to a girl. And Sora's like, hey, cut it out. And he's like, I thought both of you lost your memories too. And Donna's like, too bad. Good friends don't forget the good stuff. And they're like, come on. They all laughing at this point. And Naminé even starts to laugh, and then Sora catches her, and he's like, "There it is. That's the Naminé I remember." Yeah, I liked it whenever we used to smile. Of course, that wasn't really my memory. It was my fake memories. But what I'm feeling now definitely isn't fake. It's real. And she's like, "Thank you."
Sweet.
Yeah. She's like really happy about that too.
He may not can talk to women, but hell, he can. He can try, damn it.
So basically, he's saying he knows these memories are fake, whatever. But the stuff that he feels right now, he knows that's not fake. So
that's a good message.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Well, then let's go," and which is, by the way, I should probably mention the only time that Naminé has been treated right so far.
Damn.
Yeah, she's been But they go, "Oh boy, I can't wait to get my memories back." Naminé, Maluxia is going to be up there, so maybe you better stay down here, and. Maybe you could look after Riku. We'll come to you when it's over. And then when they say that, Riku is still just dead, sitting there. By the way,
it's a jelly man. Man, just bring her to
Mm-hmm.
your cards so that she can use her power to like wipe everybody's memory. They can't use any attacks. They don't remember who they are.
And Naminé, as they're walking away, Naminé says, "Be careful, please, Sora." And Sora turns around and gives a smile. He goes, "I'll be okay. I promise." And Sora says, "Who was that? Who's most important to me?" And he's looking at that charm again. So, as he's walking down the hall, and he's like, nothing. And he just puts his head down.
Oh, shit.
And Donald's like, "Can't you remember?" He's like, "No, I only remember Naminé. Come on, don't you guys remember anything at all?" And Donald says, "No, Sora. Sorry, it's important. I just can't remember." And he says, I don't want to be, but I'm getting scared." And then Goofy says, then we should make a... I think I've started more on this podcast than I've ever have. I don't know why. Anyway,
okay.
Goofy says, then we should really make a promise. What you said back there kind of got me thinking. Whenever you make a promise, it has to be super duper big. Maybe it gives you the courage to face the scary stuff. And then the Sora looks up and he's like, "Courage." And then Donald goes, "Yeah, let's do it. Even if we get scared, in trouble, or even if we get separated, we would never forget each other. Whatever happens, we're friends." And they all put their hands together. And all for one, and one for all. And then they do the true. So
That's cool.
then it cuts to Naminé, and she's like sitting there with Riku. And then
Fucking dead ass body.
and then teleports the Black Coke. So the only two Black Cokes left are Axel and Maluxia.
Now, Maluxia, we haven't seen too much of, right? I mean, we've seen a good amount, but he's the one with the flowers.
Yeah.
And then, what's the other one?
He's the one kind of in charge of the castle right now.
Yeah.
And then Axel is the other dude.
Axel's trying to take over Maluxia, right?
Axel, we're about to find out.
Okay.
Your motives.
Okay.
So then, from that, whoever had the Black Coke goes into another room with Maluxia there. And then behind him, you see it is Axel. And Maluxia tells Axel, "You have some nerve to show your treasonous face around here." And some nerve indeed. And Axel goes, "Treacherous? I don't know what you're talking about." And he turns around and looks at Axel and he goes, "Why would you let Naminé go? If you weren't, if it weren't for your needless meddling, we could have turned the Keyblade Master to come serve us." And Axel's like, "Oh, right, your big plan. You use Naminé to rewrite Sora's memories piece by piece, and he turns into a little puppet. Then Naminé and Sora, then using Naminé and Sora together, you would, with Loxine, you would take over the organization." And he goes, "Am I right? I would say that you are the traitor, Maluxia, since you were the one." Maluxia says, "Since when was you suspicious of us?" And Axel goes, Do either one of us have the heart to bleed the other?" And Maluxia says, "So you only eliminated Vixen to obtain proof of our plan." And he says, "That I didn't want to do, but it was your order." And then he pulls out his like weapon, his little blades he has. I don't know if you remember what they look like, but they're like that.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out his blades, and Maluxia is like smiles, and Axel is like starts spinning his blades. He goes, "Remember the order. You must eliminate the traitor," because he gave him that order to Vixen.
Yeah.
So he's using that same order
Oh shit.
on him now. And he goes, "I always follow orders, Maluxia." And he goes, "Loxine paid the price of disloyalty when she disappeared." And then they actually have a fight. Before they fight, I should probably say that Maluxia's weapon is a scythe, like Grim Reaper scythe, pink scythe. This fight's actually pretty fucking cool.
You want to save it for after the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I can show it to you. I mean, later. I know it was one part I screenshot. Like, he has both blades coming at him, and he blocks it with the scythe. It's pretty dope. But yeah, it's pretty cool fight. But after the fight, neither of them really win. It's still mid-fight or whatnot. Oh no. Okay.
You're on 9. You're good.
Oh jeez. I'm trying to upload last week's podcast still, and it's going so slow. But anyway, this is mid-fight. He goes, Axel says, the organization's betrayed. In that name, I will annihilate you. And Malusia points his scythe at him. He goes, that line's not you. Like someone else says it, you know. He goes, well, I had to try it once, you know. And then they keep fighting. And mid-fight, there's a lot of stuff that happens, in the fight. But in mid-fight, Malusia grabs Naminé and puts him in front of him. So he's using Naminé as like
the shield
hostage. Yeah, as a shield. Yeah. And he literally says, Axel literally says, "Is that your shield?" So, and he says, "Won't do you any good, I'm afraid." And Malusia says, "Are you listening, Sora?" And then you see that Sora was actually coming in as he said that.
Shit.
So Axel turns around and goes, "Oh." And Malusia says Axel says that he's willing to harm Naminé to get to me. And Sora's like, you won't let that he says, you won't let that happen, will you, Sora? And then Sora's like, nah, I'm going to take you out, whatever. And Axel's like, oh, come on now, you're Malusia's puppet already? And Sora says, after this, he's next. Oops. He says, after this, you're next. And Axel says that, now, Sora, we've got more in common than you might think. I'd really rather not fight you. So, I'm just going to let that sink for a minute. But anyway, we got more in common than you might think, and I'd really rather not fight you. But he turns around and he's like, but I can't dishonor the organization now, can I? And he gets ready to fight. Yeah. And then you fight Axel. And so you fight Axel.
Do you remember Axel being hard?
Not too bad. I don't think so. Because I just use Blizzard on him a lot because his power is fire. His power is fire, so I just use a lot of Blizzard.
Span that ass.
Yeah, I spammed the shit out of him. But after the fight, Axel is like holding himself, and he's like, "Oh, you're better than I thought you'd be." And he says, "It was worth saving you after all." And so he's like, "Saving me? What do you mean?" He goes, "Sorry. Wouldn't want to kill the suspense," and then he just disappears.
Motherfucker. Come on!
And so he runs forward more and more, and he finally gets to Malusia and Naminé.
So we're on the 13th floor now, right?
Yep. Okay. We just now hit it. So that from when he beat Axel, he finally just went to the 13th floor. And he says, you defeated Axel. The Keyblade's power, how I've longed to make it my own. And so he's like, let Naminé go. And he says, you have no chance of winning. Naminé erased Sora's memory. And they look shocked. And she says, but if I do that, and Malusia says, yes, that's right. Sora's heart would be destroyed. And his heart destroyed, Donald and Goofy. Mm-hmm. Like his heart destroyed. He's like, you can do that? And Malusia says, I'd rather have, I would have had him prefer to be unmarred, but he can be rebuilt into a liking of my own, but it would take some time. Naminé, do it. And she says, no. Sora forgave me even when I deceived him. So how could I destroy his heart? There's no way. I don't care what happens to me. I won't hurt Sora. I won't do it. And she puts her arm out to protect him again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
aww.
And he looks down at her, pissed off. He's like,
damn it.
Yeah, that's the actual look he has. He's like pretty pissed.
Did I just say damn it?
No, he says do it.
Ah, damn.
Do it, Naminé.
Damn it, Naminé.
And Sora says, oh, no, sorry. He doesn't say that. Sora actually says that. He says, do it, Naminé. He goes, I don't care. You can erase my memory. And Goofy says, Sora, why would you say that? And Sora says, because who I will look after who will look after, I don't even know. I can't talk, dude. I'm so bad at this.
It's hard.
Because who will I look after if I don't have Naminé? That's what it's supposed to say. Who I will look after if I don't have Naminé. That was a mouthful for me right there. But he goes back to her and he goes, erase my memories. Destroy my heart. I promised to protect you. You have to believe me. And she's like, Sora, trying to get him to stop. And Sora just keeps going. He goes, I don't need my memories to take on someone like Malusia. And he says, "You bet. Even if Sora," or Donald says, "You bet. Even if Sora forgets it all, Goofy and I won't forget." And Goofy's like, "Donald's right. He and I can remember everything for Sora." And Sora says, "See, I have all my friends' memories, so I can piece my own together." And Maluxia says, "You ignorant fool. If Naminé uses her powers to erase your memory, you'll be nothing but an empty shell. Your heart will be no longer able to feel or care about anything, just like," and he's about to say Riku, but before he does, he says, "just like," he actually does say, "Vexen's pathetic imitation of your Riku." And then you hear the voice, "Take another guess," and then it's actual Riku coming out, like fake Riku coming out. And then he's trying to attack Maluxia.
The real fake or the fake real?
Yeah. And he's like, "Riku!" And Riku says, "No, just imitation." And Vexen, not Vexen, sorry. Maluxia says, "You're just a shell who had everything taken, everything." And Riku says, "What can you possibly think I ever had? My body and my heart are all fake, but there is one memory I always keep, even if it is a lie. Whether it's whether it's a phantom promise or not, I will protect Naminé." And he's like, "Imbeciles." So that's the reason he was able to like come back to life, was because like that promise that Riku made to Naminé, even though it was fake, was still strong in his heart. They were able to like bring him back. And he's like, "You imbeciles," and he like disappears. Or he doesn't disappear. He appears.
Let's say pussy.
I thought he disappeared because he has his little feather, and I was like, "Oh, he disappeared into the other room." And then then the next scene, it's like, "Oh no, he actually just poured out his sword." So that's all it was, because he says, "You would knowingly shackle your heart with a chain of memories born of lies."
Like I said it.
He actually said it at the time. "You would knowingly shackle your heart with a chain of memories born of lies." And he says, "You would."
Good line.
What?
That's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Go ahead.
You're good. You would. Sorry, I gotta fix my pants. For the people who are just listening to audio, I just.
He just stood up and like just tried to fix his pants. It's fine.
Anyway, he says, "You would be the one who has a heart, yet cast aside your own heart's freedom, and you turn from the truth because your heart is weak. You will never defeat me, and then you fight, but you actually beat them or whatnot. But this isn't actually the boss fight. This is like the pre-fight, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they beat him, and they go, "Is he gone?" Well, I just gave the answer.
It's fine.
We go, "Is he gone?" And then someone says, "You could say that." Or he says that. He says, "You could say that," and he appears again. He's like, "However, what you destroyed was merely an illusion of me."
Motherfucker.
And he goes, "So what? Another imitation?" He's really in there. And they look at the door that he's been behind the whole time. And then you start to realize, like, okay, this is it. He's like, "I knew it. I could feel his power. It's starting to destroy my heart." And talking about Sora, I think, and he goes, "Gosh," or Goofy says, "Gosh, we just have to take him on together." And he's like, "Come on, Sora." And he looks at Riku and he goes, "Riku, protect Naminé." And Riku looks like surprised and shocked and looks at Sora and he goes, "You don't mind?" And Sora goes, "Sure." And Riku he's like, "All right." And they come in agreement. And then at this point it tells you like, "Hey, this is your final boss fight. Are you sure you want to save the game?" And things like that. So if you have anything else you want to do it now.
There are side missions, right? Or
not in this game, not really. I mean, there is like little collectibles and things like that you can find.
What is this game on again? Game Boy?
It was Game Boy Advance, but then it got re-released on PS2 and then again on PS4. So, and PS5 now, I guess. No, just PS4.
And technically Switch.
Oh, also PS3 before that. So, yeah. Yeah, and now Switch too. So, yeah. Game Boy Advance originally, though.
Yeah. Okay.
But, they said, once you finally go into the room and you want to fight them and whatnot, Maluxia says, "Soon the emptiness will shadow your heart. Here, in this world of nothingness." And then it's literally like a room of nothingness there.
Oh, shit.
So he brings out this fucking just crazy contraption of a machine thing.
Looks like some shit at a Silent Hill.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
And yeah, that symbol. Remember that symbol too, by the way.
Okay.
So, just a second. I never noticed until the second gameplay through. But anyway, he says, as lightness, oblivion devours you, drown into ever blooming darkness. Yeah. Okay. As lightness, oblivion devours you, drown into ever blooming darkness. So, after he says that, he like starts to be all crazy with his construction, whatever. How do you explain that? I don't know. It's just a crazy fight. I'll just say that, okay? It's a lot of shit. I know one thing he can do, because you fought with a deck, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest thing that he does is like he can attack you, and when he hits you, all of your decks, everything in your deck just goes all over the room. So you have no attack, no nothing.
Shit.
And you have to literally pick it up each thing at a time. So like if you have your deck set up the way you want, because you want your deck set up in the way you want. Like if you have like a 4, an 8, and a 6 together, it can make a special move, like a slight move, right? So that you have them in an order for a reason. And so whenever he knocks everything away, they're no longer in order and stuff either.
Oh, shit.
So it just makes things a lot hard. But at some point, you do beat him, and when you beat him, he just fades away, and then he leaves a bunch of like petals, like pink petals everywhere. And after it's over, Sora does his little keyblade thing to the door. You see the door? And then he gets his light and he locks it shut.
Huh.
That's what he did all through the first game, and now he just does it once. Sorry.
This is a long ass level then. Shit.
Basically. And then
It's like a 12-hour world.
Yeah.
Imagine if every world in Kingdom Hearts was 12 hours.
Well, see, that game would be... I'm just kidding.
Kingdom Hearts 3.5.
But yeah, he locks the world, and he turns around and he looks at Naminé, he looks at Riku. He goes, "You okay, Riku?" And Riku says, "Not Riku. I'm a fake. I can't remember why I was created or where or when. All that's inside of me is time with you and Naminé, but I know those memories aren't real or not real." And Goofy looks at Naminé. He says, "Gee, Naminé, can't you use your magic to put Riku's fake memories back to normal?" And she says, "Well, and Riku says, "It's all right. I'll deal." And he just starts walking away.
It's all right.
And Sora's like, "Who cares if someone else created you? You are you and nobody else. You have your own heart inside of you. Those feelings and memories are yours and yours alone. They're special." And Sora says, Riku says, "Sora, you're a good guy. I don't need to be real to see how real your feelings are. That's enough. That's good enough."
I feel like the person who wrote Sora just basically bought the whole stock of Hallmark cards and just started writing.
Sora's
shit.
a really nice dude, man. I love
he
Sora.
is.
He's such a nice dude.
It just seems like a Hallmark movie sometimes when he's talking. And I'm like, okay.
My friends are my power. So
my friends are my power. It's an instant teeth knockout.
But yeah, he says that I'm not real enough or whatever. He says, "Yeah, I don't have to be real to see how real your feelings are. That's good enough for me." And he starts walking away. And then Sora just kind of holds out his hand and he looks sad. And they all kind of look sad. They're just like, okay. And
You got a beep.
Yep. It should be good. And then Donald looks back and he says, "Can you put our memories back?" Like an Naminé. And she says, "Yes. Not remembering doesn't really mean that it's gone." And then she kind of pauses there. She says, "When you remember one thing, it leads to another. When you remember one thing, that leads to remembering another. And then another, and then another. Our memories are connected. Many pieces are linked together, like they're all in a chain, which makes up each of us. I don't actually erase any memories. I just take them apart and links and rearrange them. You see, you still all have your memories." And Jimmy Cricket's like, "So can you just put them back together?" She says, "Yes, but first I have to undo the chains I have to undo the chains of memories I made up on my own.
I'm sitting over here listening to you, and all I hear is her go, our memories are like a link.
Yeah.
Almost like it was a chain.
Yeah.
a chain of memories. I'm like, shut up. We get it.
And she's like, after I've done all that, she says, after I've done all that, I have to gather up the memories scattered across each of your hearts and then reconnect them. It might take some time, but I think it might just work.
Sounds like a lot of bullshit. God.
She says it might take some time, but I think it might just work. And she's like thinking, she goes, no, it will work, I'm sure. And
just say no next time, bitch. Damn.
And she goes, it's my turn to look after you. And Sora says, all right, we all really trust you. And Jimmy Cricket goes, oh, wait a second. You said that you have to undo the links of memories that you made. But which means, and then Naminé says, yes, you won't be able to remember anything about what happened here.
Damn.
And Sora says, not even you? And she says, I'm sorry. It's the only way, I'm afraid. Sora, you have to make a choice.
Fucking figures. Oh, wait.
And she turns around. She turns around when she says that. She says, Sora, you have to make a choice. And she can't even make eye contact with him when she says this. She says, you can choose to lose your memories of this castle and reclaim your old ones. Or keep your memories you have here and give the memories that you've lost. Or give up the memories that you lost.
Can you choose? Or is it like a set?
It's a set.
Damn!
No, I like the fact that it's set. Because I remember when it's happened, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to choose. I want I want my character to
I understand that.
Yeah. But yeah, so the choice is you lose your memories of this castle and reclaim your old ones, or keep the memories you have here and give up the memories that you've lost. And Sora says, do I have to choose? And she says, yes. And
no,
just like
we'll
silence.
Hang out here.
Yeah, and then it's just silence. And they're all looking at each other. And Sora makes the choice. He says, make me how I was.
Damn.
And Naminé turns around. She goes, oh, okay. Nobody wants to keep any... Oh, she says, oh, okay. Nobody needs to keep a bunch of memories that aren't real, right?
Shit.
Oh, yeah. And then she says, oh, okay. No one wants to keep a bunch of memories that aren't real, right? You want to remember all the people who are really important to you. Anybody would choose that. And then...
This bitch really got mad on either one of them. This was a trap.
No, I mean, like... Okay, think of it like this. So the choice was, like...
I get why she's mad.
Yeah, to forget her and give up everything he did before.
Mm-hmm.
Or to remember her. Or, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that she's ever been treated nice or ever even had a
And
friend.
he wants to forget it.
Yeah, they'll all forget it.
I understand that, but that was a trap question. That's like the same thing of a woman asking you, do I look good in this or do I look fat? As soon as you say, yeah, you do, oh shit, you're screwed. Or
Well,
no.
I mean, like, I feel like she'd been happy if he would have chose to just keep the memories he made in the castle. But
so does that make this entire game like kind of? I mean, I don't want to say.
let me point it this way.
Does this game have a big weight?
Yes
on
and
what's
no.
to come? Okay.
Yes and no both.
All right.
But I will say this. I never played Chain of Memories before when it first came out, okay? I went from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2. From Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2,
That's
you,
it. Just,
you are... It would make total sense.
Okay.
They did this on purpose. That way, in case you did skip this game or whatever, if you went straight from mainline to mainline...
You have to go back and play those.
No, you don't have to go back and play those, but you can get it from the point of view of Sora. You would know a lot more what's going on and everything else. Like, things would start making more sense later on if you played this game. But if you go into the mindset of, I've only played 1 and 2, you literally go in the mindset of Sora.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. I was like, man, this whole entire fucking game is just gonna erase everything you just did.
I remember playing 2, and there was just so many fucking random ass things happening. I'm like, I have no idea what this means. And so it's the same way. He's like, I don't know what any of this means.
Because he forgets.
Huh?
Because he forgets.
Yeah, because he forgets. But yeah. So like, me playing 2 for the first time, I was in the same thing of Sora. Because when something happens, he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what the fuck? Like, who are you? You know, whatever. And type of thing. And then, yeah. And me the same way. I'm like, yeah, who are you? Am I supposed to know who you are? Like,
cool. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway.
You're on 9%, by the way.
That's so horrible. Anyway.
You might get it next year.
She gets, yeah, of course. She's upset because this is the only friend she's ever had. The only time she's ever been treated right. The only time she's had somebody in her life that actually treated her okay. And they don't even know who she's going to be no more.
Does it explain if she can get in and out of the castle right now?
I mean...
Can she get out now since her, like, captors are dead?
It's complicated.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So they go to this big-ass, like, egg-looking thing that's open. It's like a big-ass contraption. Mm-hmm. She says, to remember what you gain, you're going to have to sleep in here. Oh, no, Sora says, to remember again, we have to sleep in that? And she says, yes, it's going to take a little time, but I'll take care of you. And Goofy's like, gosh, we have to, when we wake up, we won't remember who you are. And they're like, but how are we going to thank you? Or whatever. And someone says, don't worry about that. Oh, I think it was Jimmy Cricket. He says, don't worry about that. I'll just make a big note in my journal. And it will say, thank Nominee. And
yeah, but say, why don't, like, one of them stay and, like, keep the memories of the castle, and the other 3, like, get their memory wiped?
Yeah, because fuck Mickey, right? Who needs to remember Mickey?
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
That fucker didn't do anything except at the very end.
No, but yeah, Jiminy, he makes a big writing to say thank Nominee in the journal.
Now, can you see that journal in Kingdom Hearts 2?
Yeah.
Can you see the note where he put?
Yeah.
You can.
Spoiler alert. Yes.
I mean, it's not really a spoiler alert.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess not. But in the beginning of the game, it says thank Nominee.
Oh, wow.
Not beginning of the game, but like not beginning of the game. I'll say that. But at some point in the game, you see the journal and it says thank Nominee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me. I was like, who the fuck is Nominee?
Thank you, developer.
Yeah, like I didn't understand it at all. But anyway, and they're the same way. Like who the fuck's Nominee?
Yeah. Oh man, I would have like made one of them stay back.
Yeah.
Like, okay. In case anything happens, you're staying here. Oh shit, my arm popped out.
Yeah. And one of them says, "Oh, good. That makes me feel better." So, he said, "Good night," or Nominee says, "Good night, Goofy," and "Good night, Donald," and she says, "You too, Sora." And
damn. Can't even get a good night. I get that. You too.
Well, he starts climbing in the little egg-looking thing, and he says, "All of this may have started out with a lie, but I'm glad that I was able to meet you." Oh, she said that to him. She says, "All this may have started out with a lie, but I was glad I was able to meet you, Sora." And Sora says, "Yeah, me too. When I finally found you, and even whenever I remembered your name, I was so happy. And the way I felt then, that was no lie." And they just kind of smiled at each other. And she says, goodbye. Or she says, goodbye. And he goes, no, not goodbye. When I wake up, I'll find you. And then, when I wake up, I'll find you. And then there will be no lies. We're going to be friends, for real. Promise me, Nominee. And she says, you're not going to forget. Or she says, you're going to forget making that promise. If the chain of memories comes apart, the links will still be there, right? So, that's what Sora says. If the chain of memories comes apart, the links will still be there, right? So, the memory of our promise will always be inside me somewhere. I'm sure of it. And she goes, yeah, you're right. Okay. It's a promise. And he does a big smile and says, good. Until later. And she goes,
He's making a lot of fucking promises. Is he real? He's made like 3. He made one to Riku, Kairi, and now Namaste.
There's a reason I laughed whenever they made this promise.
It's like shit bar.
So,
I promise to protect you. I promise to protect you. What happens when one of them fucking die?
It's more of a promise to thank her.
Yeah.
So when it says thank Nominee, it's him promise. Like now he's making a promise. Like I'm gonna thank you. Like I'm gonna be in person.
Whoever you are.
Yeah.
I will thank you.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Okay, it's a promise. And he says, good. Until later, and they make a pinky promise of it.
Oh.
And she says, I promise, huh? And she looks at her finger, or her pinky. She goes, Sora, some of your memories, links, are deep in the shadows of your heart. and I won't be able to find them. But don't worry. You made another promise to someone who you can never replace. She is your light, the light within your darkness. Remember her. All the memories you lost in the shadows of your heart will all come back into the light. Look at the good luck charm. It changes shape whenever I changed your memory, but when you thought of her just once, it came back to the way it originally was. And he brings it back out and looks at it as it's starting to shut. And then when it shuts, he's in complete darkness, and it's just him and his thoughts, and then it's like nominated there. And then he starts, everyone else that he met in Kingdom Hearts 1 is starting to fade in, but you can't really see, like, the kind of silhouettes, but you can't really see who they are. And then it's Riku there, and then you start to see, like, Naminé, or Kairi just a little bit. And then it zooms in on her, and he's, like, looking, and then she's, like, solid. So he's like, oh, I finally remember her. And then a light comes in from behind her, and she lights up the whole room, and now you can see everything clearly. So remembering Kairi again is bringing back everything that that memory of Kairi is bringing back everyone. She's the light to his memories. And he starts to smile, and he says, my friends. Hold on. He says, my friends. And he goes, Naminé? And he looks at Naminé, and she's starting to, like, fade into the light. And she says, don't worry. You might forget about me, but with our promise, I can come back. And he says, a promise is a promise. Yes, one day the light... Sorry, let me put it back over here. Yes, one day the light, it will be ours, and it will bring us back together. And then, yeah, okay. At this point, she's, like, starting to fade out completely. Yeah. And she says, till then, I'll be in your heart. And she starts to cry because she's getting real emotional. And she says, right, forgotten, but never lost. And then it shows Kairi. And then Kairi's heart is, like, being infected. And, oh, yeah, this I think this might be the ending. Yeah, and this is the ending credits. So that was like, the total ending right there.
Oh, okay.
And then Kairi, this is during... cracked. Yeah. And then during the ending credits, you see Kairi, and then something's happening with her heart. So, and then you see Riku walking right, the fake Riku, and then Axel pops up and holds his hand out to him. And then you see this random person walking down the street, going past 3 different kids, one of them in camo pants, one of them's another girl in an orange shirt, and there's a guy there in a red shirt, a kind of bigger looking guy in a red shirt, all eating ice cream, blue ice cream. And they keep walking away, and they walk right past them, and then it zooms up on the random person, and he starts to turn his head, and then it, like, fades away. And then at that point, you start to see, like, a room with a bunch of chairs, a bunch of long chairs, all in a big circle. Yeah. Okay. A bunch of the thrones. And you see that some of those chairs are missing people. And everyone else in there is, like, in cloaks. So,
what's to come?
I mean, I'll give that one away. It's the organization, man.
Oh, spoiler, shit.
But, yeah, the final thing is there will always be sleep between part and meet with our usual words and our usual street. So let us part like the way we do, and in the world without you, I'll dream of you. And when we come to, let us meet with our usual words on a usual street. And then that's it.
Wow. That's Chain of Memories?
And that part 1. Part 2 is a lot shorter.
What do you mean?
There's 2 different parts to the game. There's going to be a part 1, and then... Actually, I'll just tell you what part 2 is.
Well, how much time we have?
An hour and 13 minutes.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've had the whole thing downloaded too. But I didn't rewatch this one, so it won't be refreshing my memory. But anyway, basically, when you beat that one, you unlock a new thing of Chain of Memories, and it's like Riku's side of the story.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
yeah, it shouldn't be too long.
Yeah,
because he wasn't in it until like the last little bit.
It's more than that, but it's more than what you're thinking in your head right now.
Okay.
So you may start off the Riku one, or you just want to do it for next time?
How long will it take?
Probably an hour or 2.
I mean, it's your call. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, we can start if you want, but I'm not as refreshed on this one, but I can still do it. Because, I don't know. This one's not going to be too bad, though. But yeah, it's the Riku side to the story. But I'll just give you a spoiler, kind of. No, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give you a spoiler. But anyway, what do you think of the original Chain of Memories? Sora side.
It's good. A lot of plot twists. Well, not really plot twists, but it's a good story. I think I'd like the organization a little bit better than the main dude in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, Ansem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like the organization better. They were like cooler. I don't know. Like they all had their own little thing.
Mm-hmm.
With Ansem, it was more of a mystery. You didn't really know what he was about.
Oh, you're going to find out.
Oh, probably, but right now, like, you don't know. Look,
Yeah.
I'm back in, like, 2001 and 2, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing yet. So, it's cool. I mean, I need to look at gameplay of it.
Yeah, that fight with Axel and Maluxia is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Yeah,
Chain of Memories, it's a good one. It's sad at the end because you see Namine's like really... Because whenever Namine asks him that question to choose... You can kind of get the feeling that, like, she turns her back because she's scared of the answer, but she kind of hopes that he's going to remember her.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, I will spoil this, okay? I will spoil this. That promise he made her, it comes back into the games later. Okay? But this came out in, like, 2003 maybe or something like that. Okay? That's when this was made.
Yeah.
It is currently 2022, and Sora has yet to be able
I kind of figured.
to do that.
I kind of figured. He's making a lot of
I won't even
promises.
say it. The latest game released, a big thing he was trying to do was trying to get to Namine to thank her in person, and he just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. So let me just make that clear. That's why I was laughing at that promise. I'm just like, man, he's gonna have trouble with this one. Like, he's really gonna have trouble with this one. So you again you ask, like, does it play a big part type of thing? Like, yeah, like once he does find out about this promise, whatnot, he's trying to keep his promise, but
it's probably very difficult for him as well, just with everything going on. But you said that Kingdom Hearts 2 is like the most convoluted and the hardest to follow, right?
I would say Dream Drop Distance is, but 2 is whenever things get like batshit.
Okay.
Like I feel like for the most part, Kingdom Hearts is like a straight line, and Chain of Memories had like a little bump in here and there, but it's still pretty much a straight line. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 was just like that. There was no line no more. It's just
okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do something big for Kingdom Hearts 2?
I don't know. I don't know what I could do.
Bring like confetti and shit.
Yeah. And like pow, and then like I'm just like, oh, look at this, and the people are just like, I'm audio listeners, so it's like, what I don't have
fuck just happened? Oh, God.
Yeah, they just get blown out by the ear.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, that would suck.
Right? Like audio warning before. Which one's your favorite again? Is it the first one?
The second one.
The second one? Okay.
Yeah, but the first one has my favorite ending. Like the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1. I love that.
What's the difference of like 1 and 1.5 and 2 and 2.5? So
1.5 is 3 different games. It's the remix, like they redid the games, better quality and stuff. And they remade the games and for newer systems. And 1.5 has 3 different games in it. 1.5 has Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and another game called Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days.
Fucking A.
So, and then
repeat that last one again.
358 over 2 days.
358 over 2 days?
Yeah.
The fuck?
I told you, man, after 2 it gets complicated. So, and then 2.5, okay, has Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and then Kingdom Hearts Recoded.
Birth by Sleep, that's on 3DS, right?
It was on PSP originally.
Which one was on 3DS? Was it
Dream Drop Distance?
That's what it was. Yeah, I thought about getting that one.
Yeah, that would actually be Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So. And
I thought my games were bad. So I felt bad about telling you mine. So I was like, oh, he's not gonna get this.
So 2.8 actually has Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, sorry, originally Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, and then it has Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Birth by Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Birth by Sleep, a Fragmore passage. That's what it's called. It's a big one.
I don't know.
It's a big name.
Ready, Isaac.
The name, I'll tell you what though. The name is longer than the game.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
I'll tell you that.
I have reassurance.
And then there's Kingdom Hearts black cover. So.
Well, I know that some of them are kind of like Chain of Memories is its own story. It's its own little thing, but it's also a retelling of the first game as well. Because you're going through Sora's memories.
Yeah.
Are there any games like that in the series?
Recoded and Recoded would be so short. I swear to God.
Okay.
I am not going to go through all Recoded. There's 2 games I am not fond of, and one of them is Recoded, and the other one is Dream Drop Distance. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go all the way through Dream Drop Distance. People either love it or hate it. It splits
one
people
of those?
Yeah. It splits people down the middle.
Because a lot of the games that I had to go through, I'm skipping too because it didn't have a big part in the story, or it's just a retelling that I don't feel like going through. So I was just wondering if that still plays a part.
So Recoded is basically just another retelling game, and it's pointless. You could on it. There's 2 games you could skip though. 2 games you could skip in the whole series would be Chain of Memories. You could skip this one because if you just jump into 2, then you're doing Sora's memory, like you're playing from Sora's.
And you're going from
And then Chain of Memories, you can just skip Chain of Memories because it's pointless anyway. It's literally, there's one line in that game I feel like that is actually important. Like, there is one line that it goes into like the rest of the series, and then everything else in that game is just bullshit. Like, just bullshit. Like, shit that does not matter. But yeah, then 2.8 has all that, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. And
is
then
there a 3.5?
No.
No.
But there is a like extra content. It's Kingdom Hearts DLC, whatever the fuck it's called. I forgot.
Extra like story bits, probably.
And it is actually important, and it's actually really fucking good.
Were you disappointed with 3, or did you really like it?
I liked it a lot. A lot of people were disappointed, but I think it's just because Kingdom Hearts 2 was such a good game. Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 is a lot of people's favorite game.
2 came out in like 2005, right?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took them 15 years to go from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And I just don't... I remember it being a big thing when it was like coming out, but then I didn't hear much of anything afterward.
Yeah, like people... I feel like their hopes just got too high, whatever. And I don't know. I liked 3 a lot. Like, I felt like it did everything that it needed to be perfectly. Like, they wrapped up everything, all the questions that were still unanswered. They answered most of them. I think just about all of them. So
you're excited for 4, right?
Yeah.
I know it's very early to say, but are you buying it on PS5?
I mean, obviously, I'm buying it. Every time a new Kingdom Hearts game comes out, even when 2.8 when that came out, and Kingdom Hearts 3, I take vacation, all for it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and I tell my girlfriend, and I try to get someone to watch my kid for a weekend. And I tell my girlfriend, look, I just need this time to myself. Okay, this only happens every few years, like literally every few years, like maybe every 5 years. Okay, just let me have this peace time.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Are you buying the stupid edition, like the deluxe edition?
No, probably not, because
I call them stupid editions because mainly it is stupid.
Yeah, it's just like $800 that I don't have. I would love to. I just don't have it. So, yeah, I think everything. They're starting to do it now where it's like they release all these editions without the case of the game.
Yep.
But sometimes they even have a case, just not the disc.
Yep.
Like, what?
It's so stupid.
What? It's ridiculous.
I think God of War Ragnarok is doing that. Like, you'll have the steelbook case, the like Thor's hammer and everything. It'll look really, really cool.
Wait, so you even have the case in the edition?
You'll have the case, but you won't have the disc. You'll have a code.
But why would you?
I don't know.
That shit is so frustrating.
It is. Because I remember you could go to like GameStop, pick up an Xbox 360 game, throw it in, play it immediately. No downloading. And now we got shit that we have to download it on a disc. It's so stupid.
Like, people don't really care about the disc that much. Like, as far as like, playing the game.
We just want it to
the disc to play the game. We don't need a downloadable code. We want the disc on our shelf. That's all we want the disc for. We want to open it up and just be like, oh, look at this. I paid too much money for this. Like, we're willing to pay you too much money for that disc. Give it to us.
And they make a shit ton.
Yeah. Oh, move that. Ooh. What percentage is it on now?
9.
Pathetic.
It's on
Pathetic.
9. Do you want to go through Riku's story?
Yeah, we can. You want to take a break first? I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, we'll take a breather for a minute.
So I'm actually I'll just end this podcast, and then, because we're at an hour and a half in already, and then we can, let's be on the next podcast. So we'll be back soon, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Wait. No, sorry. We're not going to be back soon. This is the end of the podcast.
Shit.
Oops.
I was thinking, I was like, okay.
Yeah. So, this is the end of this podcast. So, if you guys want to hear Riku's story, then come back in like 2 more weeks if everything works out. But it probably won't.
Or 2 months.
Yeah. It's going to be about probably like a month. But
it's still on 9.
But good news is we're recording it right now, so it won't be as long.
Yeah.
So, yes. So anyway, Riku's story will be coming out soon after this, maybe like 2 weeks if everything works out well. Mm-hmm. So thank you for joining the Gamecast, Kingdom Hearts, Sora's story. So, bye guys. Okay.
Oh shit. Oh.
That sounds so weird, dude. Like a zombie.
A good one, at least.
Try. Ready?
It does. Ew.